Hey Corey, this is Joel. It was nice to see you today, just to hang out at the new place. So this is from about a week before NCR. And again, what we're talking about, the topic is a fairly complicated one, and there are a lot of different aspects to it. But in terms of the set of your wrists on the backswing, you see there's a difference there. And again, this is not set in stone that everybody has to do this, because like I showed you, there are other players who don't get their wrists set, get their wrist cocked as early as what you're going to see with Ernie Els over here on our right. Let me find one for you that again would be someone who sets their wrists later, more like you do. That would be right here, Jack Nicklaus. See how his angle at that point, when your left arm's parallel to the ground, he sets his wrist later than what we'd see with a Ernie Els. But then when we went back and looked at some of your older swings, here's just again a couple weeks ago before NCR. Again, the toes pointed up more than we've seen in the past, but it is definitely underneath that plane line on the backswing. And then when we look back at some of your others, like here, this is from February of 2010. Face is one more shut there for sure, and then it's a little bit underneath the line. But remember, we looked back at the end of 2010, and there was more hinge from this face-on angle when your left arm's parallel to the ground, but you see the face is really shut. You don't see much of the face here. It's turned backward toward the down-the-line camera. And then when we saw it from this angle, this is November of 2010, and obviously about a month after your season, your high school season. And that's when I said, yeah, let's start working on that. And then we looked at 2011. Remember, we looked at 2011 about 2 months after that. I said, gee, let's look at the beginning of 2011. Whoops. And sure enough, we looked a few weeks later in January of 2011. And this was the beginning of that lesson. After you'd been working on it for a week or two, or no, about 2 or 3 months, but it still was definitely under there. But then by the end of that lesson, this is what it looked like. Much more where we'd want it. And then from face on, let's see what we got. Something, yeah. Let's see what that looked like from face on. Yeah, that's a lot different. Look at that. Jeez. Yes, that's January of 2011 right there, Corey. That's obviously a lot different than what we're seeing even just about 2 weeks ago from that face-on angle. So yeah, bud, I think you're right on the right track. That I think this will be, and you see a lot more of the face over here on the left from back in January of 2011. And then you wanted to see some things from a couple other years, so let me show you something here from 2012. This is beginning of 2012. Whoops. Here's the beginning of 2012. You see, interestingly, yeah, look at that. That's different for you there, where it's actually above the line a little bit at that point, but the toe sure is straight up in the air, halfway back. And then by the time summer of 2012, right before Cherry Hills, You know, here's obviously you're working on your 9 o'clock with those wedges because you're hitting all those wedges, you know. Not a lot of hinge there on that particular 9 o'clock swing. Just a little bit underneath it. Again, like you said, that's when you're just about hitting it the best. And then here, this is September of 2012. Again, you see definitely more hinge back then than, much more hinge than what we're seeing right now. So yeah, but I think that's definitely on the right track. I like that a lot. And then here's December of 2012 in the off season. Yeah, definitely more hinge there too. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, Corey, to work on this for those 3 main reasons we're talking about. 1, because you think you've been there before. 2, because we think it'll maybe help the shoulders, relieve some of the stress on the shoulder. And 3, because it'll tend to keep that driver in play for you better. So I really want you to remember those 3 reasons that we're talking about, so we can again keep all this in context as we work on it more and more this winter. Thanks, Corey. Look forward to seeing you soon, man.
Hi, this is Joel. I'm here at Dr. Todd Elworth's office. He's one of the best chiropractors in the region. He's a TPI certified golf fitness professional, and I really want you to know about him because he can help you a lot with your golf fitness, just as he's helped my young student Taylor here in the last year or so.
How we met, Taylor came into my office with back pain. What we took him through is numerous screens to find out why he had the back pain. I don't only treat back pain, but my second goal is to find out exactly why he has this problem. So we analyzed him, we find out he had some certain weaknesses, we're putting on some strengthening exercises, and he's doing very well.
He's done great. He's had very little back pain, and that's mainly because he injured himself working too hard at the golf course. So he's done his exercises, he's felt great. I'm very, very thankful that Todd's been able to help Taylor in this great way. And I want him to help you too if you have any questions at all about your golf fitness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Joel Suggs. I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend and showing you your swing on the 2D equipment that I have. And so I want to take about 2 or 3 minutes to just show you around Meadowlink. This is the studio I use in the winter for all my students. You see there's the down-the-line camera angle for our 2D equipment. And then we have the face-on camera angle also. And then what we also have here is 3D equipment to where I can show you your swing from 6 different camera angles with this 3D equipment. And we can get your swing from down to the 1/120th of a second in terms of exactly what your hips, shoulders, and hands are doing in the swing. And then also, I have the most realistic hitting curve I've ever seen from puttersedge.com. So when you hit your full shots, it feels as realistic as possible. And then I have 3 different green speeds for you to practice your putting. 9.5 on the step meter, 10.5 on the step meter, and 12.5 on the step meter. That's benefited my students tremendously. And then also I have a lot of learning aids like this Smart Stick. You can see the rest of those learning aids over here in my bag that we can work on to help you learn the certain fields in your golf swing that you and I both want. And then also I help my students a lot with their equipment through the winter. This is a frequency analyzer where we twang your club and it gives us a reading here. And then also we plot your whole set, each club on these lines to see if the set is really matched or not. Quite often they aren't, and it helps my students tremendously when they find out what clubs are the offending clubs. Then if we get tired of being indoors and we want to go outdoors and hit some, we can do that. It's my daughter. Ellie, good to see you. I haven't seen her in weeks. No wonder you've been gone, Ellie. You've been out here playing in the snow all this time. But this is our natural turf area. This is closed until April, as you can see. But it's a fantastic area where we can step outside and hit some balls and get some real ball flight. Or, if we get pretty satisfied and things are looking better on the video here, we're kind of cooped up inside and want to go outside, we can step on out and hit balls and see real ball flight
for about 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, however long you and I can stand the cold, out into the air, and we see them land at these different flags. I have a yardage book for this driving range. It's the first one I've ever seen in my life where we know exactly what it is with the front, back, and middle of each green. And again, the covered area here is heated, so we stay out there for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, like I said. It enables us to see some ball flights, and then we get satisfied that things are looking the way we want, and we come back inside, take off our coat, and look again at the video equipment to see how your swing's looking, to make sure that you understand it. And then notice too, my exercise ball up top here, and then also, so I help my students a lot with their fitness through the winter, and then I will help you also with your sports psychology, with your golf psychology from the golfpsych.com people down in Texas. That's helped my students tremendously a lot over the years too. So again, I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend. I look forward to seeing you again out here this summer at Meadowlinks, or even right now in the winter. I have a lot of people that work on their games with me right through the winter. Check out more information about the things I do to help you at joelsuggs.com. Take care.